Zach here, Dark Horse Tackle and also Dark Thumb. And, yeah. I hear you, Bobby. I hear you, Joe. It ain't the end of the month yet, so, just keep looking out. And I do have one on there. I think it's 16 inches. Just lost a great one. Sent you guys a video. That one hurt. But anyways, I'm coming for you guys. Don't worry. Month ain't over.
Bobby Roast Beef here, Jigs and friggin' Bigs. Listen, guys, have you ever been out on a body of water and say to yourself, hey, I don't understand why this shit's just not working. I usually always catch them on this. Well, sometimes those confidence baits we just believe entirely too much in, sometimes that comes around to bite us in the ass. We're going to talk about the goods and the bads and everything in between and how to maximize what your confidence baits can do for you and how to extend that list of what you're actually truly confident in. You're not going to want to miss it. Plus, I've been getting out on the water this week. Joe is out in the middle of nowhere. He's on the top of some mountain right now with like a tiny tinfoil cell phone antenna, and it's amazing. The man he's on the road. He's on a journey unto himself. It's going to be a good time, guys. We also have a bunch of calls on the live well as well, and we are coming up on the end of the golden days. It's the best time of year for anglers, and it's over, actually, effective as we record this. We'll talk about that in a bit. You guys don't want to miss out. We got much more Jigs and Bigs goodness coming up. Go get yourself something delicious to enjoy. Come on. Not going anywhere. I found the real estate. We're good. So the new sound effects, we're working on some shit for you guys. Jigs and Bigs. We know what's up. Welcome to the Skeet Seat, everybody. How we doing, folks? I gotta. Before we dive into this, I want to, before I explain to any new listeners that are tuned in right now, scratching their heads, puzzled as can be, I should start out by saying, yes, this is the end of the golden age. And when I say that, what I'm talking about is that today is the Friday of Memorial Day weekend. And with that, for the next 8-10 weeks until Labor Day weekend, it's just going to be a shit show on the water with wreck boats. Can I get a little from the back? Somebody, I'm telling you, and from when up north, the moment we have open water until now, you rarely see the flood of idiocy that you will see on the water. So I'm just saying, guys, if you see another angler on the water, they seem a little bit frustrated. Maybe they've got an absolute giant in their hands. For that moment where they're feeling absolute joy, just know that there's some moron in a wake boat or a pontoon or a jet ski that's ruined their day somehow and had an impact in a way. Yes. Yes, you can. Yes, you can, Bert. Lake lice hatch in full effect. That's the new pattern. That's the new pattern. So it's here. I hope you guys like 2026 so far, because it's just going to be, it's a whole new challenge from here until real fall. Real fall. But for those of you just joining us for the very first time, maybe never listened to Jigs and Bigs before, and you're probably thinking like, I'm not going to listen again. Well, let me try to change your mind right now. Jigs and Bigs is a weekly fishing podcast that drops on every single platform and on YouTube. And we cover fishy stuff. We talk tips and tricks and everything else. But the cornerstone of this show is communities and fishing stories. So we like to network with the folks that not only enjoy the content that we create, but enjoy the passion that we're also equally passionate about. We talk fishing, we talk fishing adjacent stuff, and we have a whole lot of fun doing it. Every single week, we give you a big show to just sink your teeth into through the entire week. Every single Tuesday, it'll drop for you guys on, like I said, every single platform. And you can follow us on social media as well. We're on Instagram, we're on TikTok. Of course, I am your host, Bobby Roast Beef, but I got the one and only Joe Brown, American Fet Fishing, that joins me each and every week. And he's on YouTube as well on American Vet Fishing, and also he's got a venture going that is pretty dang awesome, and it's called AVF Tackle Experts, and you should definitely check out AVF Tackle, especially if you like JDM gear and like premium domestics. You're going to want to pay attention to that. But like I said, we're on YouTube. Go ahead, give the channels a subscribe, all that stuff. Go to jigsandbigs.com for more information. We've got a bunch of links, some links that can save you guys some money, as well as like some Amazon lists. If you've got questions about the gear that we're using or anything like that, be it for production or for the outdoors. We also have an online tournament series that is managed by our tournament director, Binya Outdoors. It's one of our friends from the north. He is it was him that brought us this new and very popular duo series, this team monthly tournament format that we're so psyched up about. And in the very beginning of the show, you heard a little bit of trash talk there from Zek, the one and only Metal Jones from Dark Horse Tackle, a member of Dark Thumb. So there's a little bit of rivalry here. We're trying to put a little bit of personality into this tournament. It's good stuff. It's good stuff. Joe, how the hell are you, buddy? How's things going?
I'm good, man. How are you? I'm in the great north of New Hampshire, of New England, in Conway on the Saco River.
Oh,
it's beautiful here. I'm in the Brown. I'm coming to you live from the Brown bus. So I'm going to apologize ahead of time, guys. The Starlink, I got too much tree cover for the Starlink, and our Wi-Fi for the RV, the SIM card didn't come in time. So if my internet is wonky, I'm going to go ahead and apologize immediately for that. But other than that, man, I'm good. I'm just out here chilling, having a couple of wobbly pops, and
nice.
Kicked everyone out of the RV. I got the dogs laying here with me because our drunk neighbor is just like letting his dog run around, and my dogs keep freaking out. So, and they're wicked wet because we just had them in the river. So the RV smells like
wet
awful
dog
right now.
Yeah,
so
I bet.
Yeah, like two long-haired fucking dogs. Yeah, so that's awesome. But yeah, dude, it's awesome. We're having a great time up here.
That's awesome, dude. And you know, it's funny, man, because like I was just talking about the lake lice and Memorial Day weekend. You're dealing with another type of absurdity as well, because camping on Memorial Day weekend is insane. Like, it'll be a miracle if you don't come home with a charge. I'm just saying. Like, somebody's going to be a moron.
Like my best friend on the planet, the one I joined the military with, him and his family are coming up tomorrow morning, and he's the one I've always been with for all the worst trouble I've ever gotten into.
Oh yeah,
so it's
good influence.
It's about to be a bad recipe.
Yeah, that's awesome, dude. Yeah, it is crazy, dude. Camping on those holiday weekends is just like, it's insane. You wonder why. Like when I was younger, and I was like, how come Dad drinks so much more when we're camping? That's why. Just because it's just there's so much ridiculousness. It's insane. John Hagen's one of our jig heads chimes in and he says Memorial Weekend camping was always referred to as Camp Hell for us every year. That's fair.
I'm a newbie. I'm a rookie. I'm learning. So we'll see if we do this again next year. But so far, so good. The only people I've wanted to kill thus far are my own kids. So
I'd say you're off to a great start.
Yeah, I'm off to a good start. And this guy, the drunk guy next door, like, that's what Meg was telling me. She like let the dogs in all of a sudden. I'm like, what are you doing? They're soaked. And I look out there. This dude's fucking. And he was wicked nice.
Yeah.
Like earlier, came up and talked to me, but now I don't know what the hell happened the last 3 hours because now he can barely stand, and his dog's just like running amok around our area. So,
oh man, it's gonna be an evening, that's for sure. Where you're at though in Conway, New Hampshire, is fucking beautiful up there.
Oh, dude, it's so nice.
It is awesome. I have a wedding coming up in October up there. And this time I'm going to take some time afterwards and go and visit Mount Washington and all that stuff. Because it's cool as hell. It really is pretty friggin' bananas. But how's things been?
Don't bring your rods.
Yeah, no. That actually leads perfectly into my next question. How's it been?
Exactly how you were thinking.
Really?
So this is, dude, it is so fast. Like where we are, the current's so strong. I can't find any like slow pools. it's so clear, and I like. There's a lot of like trails that are like pretty high above the river, and I'm looking. I don't even see any fish in there. Like
no shit.
I haven't seen shit.
Yeah.
So I threw my BFS setup with a Megabass Griffin BFS or bait finesse and
Yep.
nothing, dude. I was like, nah, right. I had enough of this. So dude, what's cool though, man, is I told it because I get up this morning. Like I had like an online appointment, a doctor's appointment. So I did that. Then like all the kids are up, and then they're just like in here, like on their phones. I was like, get your asses out.
Yeah.
I don't want to see you back to like fucking nighttime, dude. Like,
yeah. Go find
And,
something to do.
yeah. They come back a couple hours later. They're like, hey, we got to show you something. I was like, okay. I was like, how far is it? They're like, probably like a 3 to 5 minute walk. I was like, all right. Cause we go through the woods for like 3 minutes, dude. And there's like this rocky, like not beach, but just like this rocky point, huge, nobody there. So we just like been hanging out there all day with the dogs, like letting the dogs do their thing. And
That's
it's been
awesome.
Yeah.
That's freaking, what a find.
Yep.
That's,
Yep.
oh,
So
good job.
They did good, man. So we just been literally chilling out there. I found out that my female shepherd is a water dog. We didn't know that until today.
Oh, really?
So, oh, dude, it's so funny. We'd like throw a stick out. She'd start at one point of the beach, and then she'd like be letting the current take her. She grabs it, and she'd get out like the
Holy
opposite
shit.
side. Yeah, it was crazy.
She's working the current. That's crazy. Well, it sounds to me like the pressure's off for getting the lab for duck hunting. It sounds like we're going to be able to take ice, and she'll be good.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
You know?
exactly. Yeah,
That'd be
exactly.
awesome.
Except as soon as she gets her hands on the duck, she's going to tear it apart.
Yeah, it's gone. It's gone.
Gone.
She can keep all the heads. I just need to render them out for the fat. She can have everything else. That's it. That's all I want is the duck fat. That's it. Oh my goodness, dude. Yeah. So, well, other than Sacco being what it is, like, did you do any other fishing this week?
I wasn't able to. Nothing going on for me next weekend, so I will be splashing the boat and trying for a Hail Mary, like the last, I think, day of the
That's right.
the duos tournament.
Next weekend is the last day of the month. I mean, it's been a week. Like, it's been tough. I think, what was it? But I think Monday, because we recorded the show late last week. We recorded on Sunday.
Yep.
So I spent a good chunk of Monday like editing and doing some prep work, and then following up. I had a couple of meetings to get confirmed for this week and everything. So that all was going on. Tuesday it was. Oh, there was one other thing Monday that fucked me all up. My daughter had a dentist appointment, and she had to have a cavity filled, right? And I didn't get her. This appointment was at 8 a.m. We got there at 8 a.m. They didn't see her until 8:30. I didn't get her to school until almost after 11. It was took forever. And I mean, like, it's almost an hour drive from like her dentist to get to school. But I was like, you got to be kidding me. So I came home, I did all that shit. I was running on all cylinders, man. I was like, for this weekend, I want to make sure I got to cut the grass. I got a bunch of stuff done around the house. And I'm like, this is awesome. I'm stoked. Well, I realized, I was like, yeah, I got like 2 hours. I got to go pick up my daughter from school. I bring her home, bang out the show, get that done, and then head out. Tuesday, I was just like, I'm going to take this day and just kind of like decompress. Like, I was just smoked from the weekend. It was just crazy. So I'm like, let's go ahead and take Tuesday and relax. Well, Wednesday, I thought Wednesday was going to be like the best conditions to go out. I was like, so we'll go out Wednesday, we'll go out Thursday and Friday, and then I'll try to get as much this weekend as I can. I still have to work on Sunday and on Monday evening, but I went out. So I went out Wednesday, and you remember, last week we were talking, and I said that I was really debating going to that marina where the new docks were in and getting out there. But I'm like, man, this weekend, this is like where people are going to start loading up their boats and dropping them off. I'm like, let's avoid it. We'll do it during the week. So I was like, Wednesday's the day. Let's go. Dude, I ripped all the way down there. I got in there. I'm like, this is awesome. I'm making all these crazy casts. I was throwing a riff on a koiki from Land of Baits. It's called the Fuzzy Balls. And it's a good size, like urchin style bait. I got a couple of them from Land of Baits, a couple of different colors. They're very cool. And the way I rigged it was I took a weedless wacky hook and I hooked it so that it was like further up on the shank. You know, a little bit further up there. I had it was a pretty good size hook too, so I had plenty of gap. And then I took a nail weight, a 16th ounce nail weight, and I just popped it on the inside. And it worked out pretty freaking good, man. We had some pretty good cloud cover and some wind and dropping pressure. Like everything should have been great. Dropping or stable. It might have been stable. But it was heartbreaking because I fished 2 entire rows of slips, and then I got to the third one and started making my way in there, and they didn't seem to want anything to do with the fuzzy balls or a Senko or anything like that. So I was like, you know what? I'm just gonna skip a paddle tail swim bait under there and swim it around. Try and fish these a little bit faster because I only had so much time. So I get in there and I got like absolutely slammed under this one dock. Absolutely slammed. I was like, holy shit. Okay. So I set the hook real good and I'm fighting this fish. And this was in about like 8 or 10 feet of water. And it was pretty dirty back there. So I'm like, that sounds horrible, by the way. So I'm fighting this fish and I'm like, okay, this is cool. Well, my line just breaks. Like not like the knot came undone and it was all curly, right? Like the line just snaps. And the only thing I can think, and I'm telling myself that it very well could have been a catfish. Because it didn't necessarily, it felt huge. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Or, I don't know, maybe it could have been a carp. And oddly, as I was on my way to the marina, I passed these 2 dudes that had their truck pulled down up along the bank with these carp rigs set up, you know, like the tripods and everything. Yeah. And they were taking a picture of like a 20 or a 25 pound common carp. It was huge. I was like, this thing is fucking giant, man. And I was like, so maybe we're talking like off species or something. There's pike back there too. I just don't know if pike really are super keen on docks necessarily. You know, I have no idea. I've never hooked into a pike back there. So it is possible it was something else. That's kind of for my own sanity. That's kind of what I'm doing. When I got to Wednesday, I decided I'd go and fish a spot you would fish last month. And I don't really go out this way a whole lot, often enough, to be perfectly honest. I kind of like mailed it in a little bit. I go there and it was like a festival of rock bass. And when I say like I was throwing, they were eating anything I was throwing at them. It was ridiculous. The only thing that they didn't eat was the wake bait, the rat that I was throwing. Because there was some grass right near the launch that I wanted to make sure to hit. And I did see bass up there kind of cruising up shallow. And I don't know if they were maybe guarding fry because the water temps were like 70, 71 degrees up there. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, might be over. You know, they might be just cruising around the nest and like guarding or something. You know, who knows? But they had no interest in anything I had going on. But the rock bass were loving it. And literally everything I threw at them. I caught rock bass. I caught pickerel. Did I catch a yellow perch that day? I very well may have. I did have one instance, though, where I had fished all the way down this one bank and I ended on this point. And I go over to fish the other side of the point and there's a big drop off. Like it goes from like 6 foot to like 23 and it drops like significantly. And I had the same thing. I was fishing, again, one of my confidence baits. I was fishing that paddle tail swim bait and I could feel some weeds and I went to go like rip them through to kind of clear the weeds off my bait. And I didn't do such a great job. Like I could see the bait coming back to me and right around the line tie, there was just a little bit of grass still on there. And then I see right behind it, there's a good size largemouth that's following it up. And he's like looking like puzzled almost at the weeds. Like, what's that there? And then he spots the boat and he was like, out. And I'm like, you motherfucker. That was just bad. I was like, you son of a bitch. Because I definitely would have called that last 15 for us. Definitely would have called our last 15. I don't know about how much it would have helped overall, but that's pretty good. My money is on a chunky channel is what John says. That's kind of what I would figure. That's kind of that's what I hope. Ultimately, at the end of the day, and then what else did we go? Oh, so that was Thursday. I fished until about like 1, and then hit the road to go pick up my kid and all of that stuff. And then I did see beds while I was there, I should mention, but they look like they were old. You know how like the outsides get kind of like sloppy, like that. Yep. So they look like they were old. I was like, all right, so we might be post spawn here now, and that was once I saw those, that's when I started to kind of look for those areas where I was near, like accessible to deeper water, hoping that I could get one of the females to bite there. Let's see, what else did I do? Today was one hell of a day. I had the spot all to myself. It was great. And I went with what was working over there the last time. I was throwing a swim jig, and I also was throwing a Senko because I was doing really every cast almost was skipping underneath overhanging limbs where there were shadows, because that's the only place I was actually finding active fish was in the shade. And I only got on the water, I think, like about 10 of 10 this morning. So I had one side that had significantly more shadows, and I started over there, worked that real well, and I probably caught maybe 18 to 24 fish. It was ridiculous. The biggest one was maybe 13 and a quarter inches. It was freaking bad. And it was just, they were active. The right ones just weren't. It was what it was. So called that. Now I'm kind of going back and forth between a couple bodies of water. I don't know where I'm going to fish tomorrow. That's kind of the plan. So we got I'm trying to think of like where I think I just need a change of scenery. Instead of going and beat my head against the same like 3 or 4 places that I have been fishing. And then, even the other ones that are really local, it hasn't been great. It hasn't been great. Although from what I'm hearing, it's kind of been that way all around. Now, there is some other stuff. I had this really great idea for something I want to start putting together on YouTube, and I've been kind of planning a few things. This is going to be a little bit more of like my hand at like actually like creating like a show. And I really want to do this some justice. So we'll be talking about that a little bit more as things come along. I dropped a couple of messages now to line up the first couple of guests. This will be cool because it's something I can also do when I travel. So I can go and kind of extend this. So it'll be pretty cool. And then what else do we have going on? Oh, we have some congratulations. And I mentioned him already.
Oh?
Yeah. John Hagens is officially the Jigs and Bigs multi-species scavenger hunt champion. Officially. Second place went to Todd Sefton, and third place was Kevin Mahoney from Biohazard Bassin. So congrats, and it was close. It was close. It was only 1 point between first and second, but both of those guys take fantastic pictures and identify their fish the right way and all that stuff. So they got it together, and it was one hell of a weekend. A pretty unbelievable 48 hours. Every single one of them put up footage on social media of like how like updates where they were like mid tournament. It was I don't think they coordinated that at all, but it was very, very cool. So yeah, it was awesome, man. That was really cool. We've got an update coming from Binya that will go over the details of the standings for the current tournaments. But we have a slot limit tournament coming up later this month as well. So jigsandbigs.com. All that stuff is right there for you guys. If you go to the Fishing Chaos link, it shows you all of our tournaments, everything that's up there. Zek says, multi-species king forever. Long live the king. Fair enough, man. Fair enough. That was very, very cool, dude. It was pretty unbelievable. It was a good amount of fish too. And it's funny, like I want to say like I think it was a crappie that got Todd Sefton kind of like a little screwy because he just wasn't able to land one that hit the minimum, I think. There was one species where it would have been real close. And then it would have gotten down to, had we had to break a tie, it would have gotten down to the total inches caught. So that's why important. That's why it's important. Measure every single fish all the time. What else? What else did I do last week? And that's kind of it for the most part. Oh no, there's something else. So I do trivia every single week, Joe. Bunch of different bars, host trivia, all that shit. There's one bar, the Toasted Owl in Northampton. On Thursday nights, I'm over there. One of the servers over there, Drew, she is awesome. And her and her boyfriend just started fishing together this year. And she'll come up and like every time she's like, because I'm always like, I'm wearing like Hooks and Hoodlum stuff or like Jigs and Bigs branded stuff like all the time. And she's like, yeah, you fish, right? So every single week I'd go in, she's showing fish pics of what she's caught. A lot of trout, panfish, and she's really interested in the multi-species stuff. She just started catching largemouth like this past week right here. And she's like, so I looked up how to do the drop shot. And I was just like, oh shit, you're like doing rigs. Like, good for you. She caught a 15. And she was absolutely stoked. So I told her, I was like, you and your boyfriend come out fishing with me. We'll go and we'll fish some of these bodies of water. Because I think they're both like industry folks. Like they work like night hours for the most part and weekends. So we could go on a weekday. It'd be great. So congrats to Drew for just fucking killing it. Just fucking killing it. What else do we have going on, man? This show is I can't wait for you guys to hear Just the Tip because I feel like we mentioned last week in last week's Just the Tip about confidence bait addiction. And I mentioned, I think, that we could do a whole thing all about that. And that's what this one's about is confidence baits, like what's good about it, what's not good about it. And there is a not great side, Joe, do we have any headlines or anything that we got to go over?
We do.
We do. I love headlines. Let's do it.
All right. So we got a wild story this week because Tennessee officially has a brand new state record largemouth bass. And this fish is an absolute giant, Bobby. Because the bass was caught by angler Darren Nunley, and he now has officially been certified by the Tennessee Wildlife Resources Agency at 16 pounds, 6 ounces. That officially breaks a state record that had stood for decades. Now here's where things get even more interesting.
Yeah.
The fish reportedly came out of a private Tennessee lake, and according to reports, forward-facing sonar and live bait techniques were involved in catching it. So, obviously, naturally, the internet has exploded and, with debate over this. And so, you get some anglers that are saying, oh, a record is a record, that fish, still had the bite. And others are arguing technology is changing trophy fishing forever, blah, blah, blah. But honestly, regardless of where you stand on the forward-facing sonar debate, a 16 and a half pound largemouth in Tennessee is absolutely insane. And that's the kind of fish most bass anglers spend their entire life chasing.
Definitely.
And never even come close to seeing, not even close. And, what's also crazy is we're continuing to see giant bass pop up outside of the traditional trophy bass states like California and Texas. Fisheries across the Southeast just keep producing bigger and bigger fish every year. I mean, we see it here all the time and now we're on Jigs and Bigs. But now, obviously, everybody wants to know, could this eventually happen on public water? Could Tennessee produce an even bigger fish? And how much has modern electronics changed trophy bass fishing as a whole? Let's know what you guys think. I would love to know what you guys think. Does forward-facing sonar take away from catching, catch records, live bait, etc., or is it simply another tool, like side imaging and mapping? It's become over the years. Yeah. So, either way, it's an absolute giant fish.
Yeah, it is.
Huge congratulations to Darren Nunley on a catch of a lifetime.
It's pretty freaking amazing. And like he beat it. It was like a good number of ounces that he beat it by, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy, dude.
Yep.
Very freaking cool, man.
Yep.
Very, very cool. Well, we're going to flip things over to Binya Outdoors to get a full update of all of your tournament standings.
Hey everyone, Binya here with a tournament standings update. We only have the one event currently going, which is the May Bud Series, and we've had some teams that have kind of fallen flat and some teams that have been grinding their way all the way to the top. Starting with 5th place, we have Team Beaver holding down that 96.5 inch bag. They haven't submitted a fish in a while, and they have started to plummet down the leaderboard all the way to the bottom paying spot. Team Hula Poppers, kind of the same deal. They haven't put in anything recently, haven't been able to cull, and that keeps them down at that 4th spot with 97.25 inches. 3rd place goes to Sticky Rice, a very strong competitor in this season so far. They have had a very good showing in the 2 events that we've had, coming in at 98 inches. Team Geronimo has been on the opposite end of that spectrum. They've been slowly culling 1/4 inch here, 1/2 inch there, and moved their way all the way up into 1st, but recently got knocked down to 2nd place with 98.75 inches. A brand new comer to the leaderboard, team that came out of nowhere and suddenly just submitted a bunch of fish with 101 inches. Scope and Hope showed up to play, hitting that century mark and putting in a bunch of fish. Now I do have to say, these are unofficial, unjudged. Some of the fish for Scope and Hope I have not been able to judge yet, but that's okay because most of them look pretty decent in a quick check. So that's the standings right now. I do want to mention, just have to say this, I finally managed to get up a little bit, got some fish on the board, and I'm only about an inch behind Big Jig Energy. So I'm coming for you, Bobby and Joe. My goal is to get into that top 10, so I'm going to have to knock you guys down to do that. Back to you guys.
All right, thanks, Mike. Appreciate it. Here's the deal, guys. We have one more batch of congratulations to throw out there, and it's a good one, too. Zach shares with us that he says, while we're all giving congrats, Dead Man Walking Josh Chitwood is officially engaged to be married. Look at that. Congrats, Josh. No, I saw this on Instagram, and I immediately was like, "Holy fucking shit!" Because I've this last Columbus Expo, I really got to spend some time with the two of them, and they're great. Like you can tell, like they you know what they remind me of, Joe? You and Meg.
Oh, okay.
You and Meg.
Right, saddle up, Josh.
Yes. It's fucking crazy.
It's funny when Zach put this up, you know, what this actually says is we are having congrats. Dead Man Walking Josh Chitwood is officially engaged to me. That's what I saw. I was like, oh,
no. It says to me married. Oh, you're right. Oh, I'm going to use the shit out of that button. Oh, he's engaged to you. Congrats! I thought that came with Dark Horse.
I thought you guys were already engaged, Zach.
Yeah, it was like a Dark Horse thing, you know? My God.
Now it's just official.
Good Lord. Good Lord. Hey, we're going to take a quick break, guys. Don't go too far. We got more Jigs and Bigs coming up. We got Just the Tip in this next segment there. We got a great batch of phone calls in the live well that you're going to love. We'll be back in a bit. Don't go too far.
So good, so good, so good.
Everything you want for summer is at Nordstrom Rack stores now, and up to 60% off. Stock up and save on the brands you love like Vince, Sam Edelman, Frame, and Free People. Join the Nordy Club to unlock exclusive discounts, shop new arrivals first, and more. Plus, buy online and pick up at your favorite Rack store for free. Great brands, great prices. That's why you Rack.
You said this place was steps from the water.
We just haven't found the steps yet.
How much did we save?
Enough.
Enough to get lost?
Or you could book a stay with Hilton.
Welcome to your oceanfront room, just steps from the water.
The Hilton sale is on now. Book on Hilton.com or the Hilton app and save up to 20% to get the stay you expected. When you want savings, not surprises, it matters where you stay. Hilton, for the stay.
If we knew more about our sleep, what would we do differently? Would we go to bed at a consistent time or take steps to reduce interruptions to our sleep? With Sleep Score, Apple Watch measures your bedtime consistency, interruptions, and sleep duration. Then, every morning it combines these factors into an easy-to-understand score from 1 to 100. So you'll know how to take the quality of your sleep from okay to very high. Know your sleep score with Apple Watch. iPhone 11 or later required.
Ready to soundtrack your summer? With Red Bull Summer All Day Play, you choose a playlist that fits your summer vibe the best. Are you a festival fanatic, a deep end DJ, a road dog, or a trail mixer? Just add a song to your chosen playlist and put your summer on track. Red Bull Summer All Day Play. Red Bull gives you wings. Visit redbull.com/brightsummer ahead to learn more. See you this summer.
Wishing you could be there live for the big game, soaking up the atmosphere of the crowd. But too often, life gets busy, or the price holds you back. Priceline is here to help you make it happen. With millions of deals on flights, hotels, and rental cars, you can go see the game live. Don't just dream about the trip, book it with Priceline. Download the Priceline app or visit Priceline.com. Actual prices may vary. Limited time offer.
Perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels. Or, ouch, ouch, you're on my hair.
Okay.
All right, guys, just the tip this week. We've got a good one for you. We're talking about confidence baits. Are they your best friend or are they your biggest problem? Last week, during Just the Tip, we touched on something that honestly deserved its own full conversation, its own spotlight. So that thing is confidence bait addiction. And the more I thought about it this week, the more I realized confidence baits they're like caffeine. A little bit's great, but too much, and now you're making terrible decisions and shaking uncontrollably at a gas station at 5 a.m. before blast off. Every angler has a bait that you tie on when things get tough, when you need to get bit, or when you just want to settle down like mentally. You just like need that break. Might be a jig or a Senko, bladed jig, a drop shot, a spinnerbait. It doesn't matter what it is. The thing is that you believe in it. And honestly, that belief actually matters way more than you realize. Because a confidence bait isn't just a lure that you catch fish on. A real confidence bait is a bait that you fish well. That's the big difference. You understand how it feels, what it should look like underwater, when it's not working, when it is working, obviously, what cover it actually shines in, and how fish will usually bite it. You're connected to this bait. And because of that connection, you naturally fish it with more patience and focus or intention. And that's the positive side of the confidence baits. Confidence slows your brain down. It keeps you from spiraling because when anglers lose confidence, they start doing weird shit. And I've seen this. I've done this. You know the routine. You're changing colors every 6 casts. You're cutting off baits constantly. You're tying knots with the emotional stability of a hostage negotiation. You're opening every single tackle tray in the boat like the answer is just going to magically be hiding in there. Meanwhile, the guy that's got the confidence, he's just calmly picking apart water and he's catching fish. But confidence baits also have a dark side. Honestly, a lot of anglers become completely addicted to them because eventually your confidence bait can become your comfort zone, and comfort zones catch fewer fish than adaptation. So if you ever meet somebody who throws, I only throw a jig, or I only throw a wacky Senko, that's all you need, or I only throw frogs, or I only throw a drop shot, or a net, or whatever it is. No matter what the season is, or the water clarity, or the temperature, or the forage, or the conditions, or all of those variables, they're trying to force their confidence onto the fish instead of adapting to what the fish are telling them. And this is important. Confidence confidence should support decision-making, and it should not replace decision-making. Let me go over that again to make sure you guys have that. confidence should support decision making. It should not replace decision making. The reason anglers get trapped in confidence baits is pretty simple. Fishing something new feels weird. It's uncomfortable. When you don't fully understand a technique, you don't know exactly if you're fishing it correctly, you don't necessarily trust it, you'll usually abandon it way too early. So anglers retreat back to safety. That's what's familiar, back to what's familiar. Even when the conditions are screaming for something else. And honestly, every single good angler eventually goes through this phase. You'll hit a point where you realize, oh, my confidence bait isn't actually working. I'm just attached to this. I just believe in it. And that's a brutal realization. It's also where the real growth kicks in and starts to happen. So how do you break out of a confidence bait addiction? There's a couple things that could help, right? The big one is just don't expect instant success. This is a big deal. You know, you can't expect something that you're doing for the very first time to feel natural immediately. And if it does, that's just gravy. You know, your confidence bait probably took you a couple of months or years to like really build real trust and belief in. And a new technique kind of deserves that time as well. And the other thing is committing to learning days. Some days, you know, we hear it all the time, especially like in the big swim bait world, you know, just go with that one rod, that one combo. Don't go fishing necessarily to catch fish. Go to learn that technique. And you know, otherwise, you know, the second things get difficult, that's when you start to grab for that confidence bait again to get it done. And then learn where a bait shines. And this is probably what I struggle with the most, to be perfectly honest. A lot of people fail with new techniques because they throw them in terrible situations. And you're not going to build confidence randomly. You build by putting a bait in situations where it's supposed to succeed. Like if you're trying to learn a glide bait, maybe don't throw it for the first time in like absolute chocolate milk, middle of the day, you know, during a cold front on a lake that's full of pressured fish. It's not going to succeed, and that's not necessarily the bait's fault. It's that you're kind of setting it up for failure in that situation. And maybe the biggest thing, the real confidence shouldn't just come from one bait. It should come from your ability to adapt, because conditions are going to change. Fish are going to change. Every lake's different. The anglers that constantly catch fish, they're not married to one lure. So yeah, confidence baits are absolutely important. They help you settle down. They help you fish more cleaner, like more clear-headed, and they help you trust yourself. But if your confidence bait becomes the only answer in your boat, it might actually be holding you back. So now let's hear from you guys. All right. What is your confidence bait? And be honest, has it ever stopped? Even a short list actually is great. Give me a handful. What are the things that you count on? Has it ever stopped you from trying something new? So hit the hotline. Call or text us, 413-324-8519, because I know some of you guys are currently in this like toxic relationship with a green pumpkin Senko. Now, the thing is, Joe, I'm going to put you on the spot. What is your, like, the single bait that you are emotionally attached to? And on the other end of it, what is the bait that you should probably be throwing more often?
I would say the one that I'm most emotionally attached to is a jerk bait.
Yeah, I can see that.
You know,
you do have a lot of belief in the jerk bait, man. And you can make it do.
I do have a lot, but
yeah.
I've caught a ton of fish with it, you know, and a ton of good fish with it.
And you know the technique. Like you're the guy that when somebody asks about fishing a jerkbait, when you open your mouth, I'm like, this is going to be good.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yep. I try. Like and what's crazy is I never fished a jerkbait until maybe 5 years ago.
Oh,
never
really?
fished it until then. It was actually a friend of mine, Jay Haskins, who was like, we went to Anoda, smacked some small, and actually at the time I had caught my PB smallmouth on a jerkbait, and I was like, all right, I'm a believer. you know?
Yeah.
And I think it was, at the time, I think it was like 3 pounds, 11 ounces. And that was it was on an arc. I'll never forget. It was on an arc crappie patterned jerkbait.
No shit.
And yeah, so it was awesome. But you know, I that's usually my go to for a lot. But I don't fish it all season, you know, like, but that's the one where I'm like, if I'm breaking that out because I know the conditions are right, I know I'm going to catch fish.
And
you know what I mean? If I'm like,
yes,
you know what I mean?
Yep.
But dude, I'm super confident with a jig.
Definitely.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm super confident with a drop shot, with a wacky Senko. You know what I mean?
Yep.
But here's where I guess I might differentiate from that kind of statement, I guess, is, man, a couple of the best fishermen, at least local fishermen I know, only throw one bait. You know what I mean? They only throw a jig, man. And like, they're some of the best fishermen, like, and the best fishermen in the aspect of, I see them smack the most good sized fish.
Or they're lying. You know what I mean? Like, that could be a tactic where they're like, I don't want my juice getting out there. I don't want people knowing that I know what's up with deep water cranking. You know what I mean?
Yeah, sure. That's obviously, you know, that's on the table. But I don't know. It's obviously, even myself, I know I need to get caught. I've been telling myself for the last, I mean, you probably know because we talk about it every year. I've been telling myself the last 3 years I'm going to get confident in big swim baits, and I still have not. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah.
And I own a bunch. I promote them. I know they catch big fish, but like me personally, I just don't do well with them. And there's baits out there that I just that people do. I just don't do well with. I don't have the confidence there. And a big thing for me too, and I think we've talked about this on the show, there will be baits, or there can be baits that you might be most confident in. Okay, let me backtrack this. It's going to go perfect with what we're talking about. There's no quicker way to become unconfident in your confidence bait than by constantly fishing it. Does that make sense? And here's why.
Okay. Go ahead and explain.
So, you know me. Let's see if you remember. What was one bait back in a few years ago I was super confident in? I caught some donks on it. And, you know, I remember a couple years ago on the show, you're like, oh, I know what your confidence bait is. And I was like, used to be.
Oh, fuck. I want to say it was a fucking blade bait. Oh, I don't think so.
Close.
Oh, spinner bait.
Dude, I have zero confidence in a spinner bait now. Because I think I think I killed myself with it, where I was like, oh, yep, like I'll just break out this spinner bait and I'll be good. I'll start catching them again. When the conditions just were so wrong for it.
Yeah, when you were forcing it, yes.
And I knew it was wrong.
Yeah.
But it was the addiction. It was that addiction to the confidence bait.
Yep.
And it in turn ruined that bait for me, where I have zero confidence with it now.
Yeah. No, I could definitely see that, man. I could definitely see that. It's weird because, like, you're 100% right. Like, and that just shows like that extreme, like when you're like, when you do that enough and that's your go-to and you're like, yeah, I always catch them on this. I don't know. They must just not be hungry. You know what I mean? But like when you start to learn and you see how folks like, when or like you have enough of those negative experiences, you're like, maybe it is something with this, and you just kind of put it down. I could see how that could get in your head.
Yep.
You know,
like, you know what rig I don't know if I told you this. You know what, one rig I told myself I was going to try this year. My confidence is like skyrocketing with it.
Yeah,
is a fucking donkey rig, dude.
Really?
I've clapped a couple of good ones this year with a donkey rig. Yeah.
No shit. I didn't realize that. I know you had mentioned earlier that was one of your goals, I think, at the 300th show.
Dude, I'm starting to like that. I'm starting to like that thing.
Huh.
It's just such a realistic, technique. I love it.
Mm-hmm.
Couple Sakamata shads on there. Money.
I could definitely see where that is something that a lot of people aren't throwing. You know what I mean? And it gives you
it's such an unknown technique. But it's good. It's good.
Dude, I'm gonna have to mess around with that. I was thinking about the one that not the one that I count on very often. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm like, obviously, like it's a glide. That's the thing I've been working on or anything. And I'm like, not really. Like I feel like I genuinely understand like what separates that. And I feel like I have more confidence in that than I do the one I'm about to say. And that's a topwater frog, dude.
Yeah, I love fishing the topwater frog.
Right?
I mean, is anyone confident in a topwater frog? Because the hookup ratio just sucks so bad.
That's a big part of it. But like, I also I just don't know. Like, I feel like it's the most random fishing. It's honestly, and it's the same thing with like punching. It's the same thing. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's like you're just picking a spot. Because I don't have the experience looking at like the vegetation to be like, boom, that's where we're going, or all those fish over here and all these pads. So like, I don't know, man. Like I think part of it is like, because of that, I think that fishing a frog is boring. And then when I do get a strike,
really,
it's like a 50-50 shot that I'm going to fucking get those hooks in.
Yeah.
I would say 50-50 is fair.
I love fishing the frog.
Yeah.
I can see where you might think it's boring. I've put the time in for it, though, and I've caught a couple good ones on frogs. But like you mentioned, Bobby, I don't know if there's a technique that I cannot stand more than punching.
Yeah, I can see
I know it catches fish. I know there's a huge time and place for it in the dog days of summer. But fuck, man, is that so goddamn boring to me.
I'm going to be honest, dude. Like those techniques, I think for where we live, like our vegetation is not like Alabama or Florida.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, so it's a different kind of thing. Like I don't feel like where we live, like a topwater frog is a must. You know what I'm saying? Because you can run a buzzbait in a lot of spots. I mean, there are some spots. Don't get me wrong. You know what I mean? But like, there's one spot specifically that I'm thinking of outside of Northampton that like you just bring another topwater frog. That's all you're going to throw, I don't know. It's crazy. Yep. I would say for me, that's it. I think the obvious ones that I have confidence are a jig of any kind, including a swim jig, a paddle tail swim bait. And that's primarily like, I feel like the one thing that I'm really proud of over the last couple of years is the confidence I've gotten with like moving presentations as a whole.
Okay.
So whether it's a spinnerbait or a bladed jig or something, it's like I feel like I accept a lot of those, and I kind of, I've built some trust with like, yes, I'm going to find a bite. You know what I mean? I'm going to find where these fish are. And I think that's shifting my goal of like what those baits should do. But like, yeah, paddle tail is just so natural. So in the like scale of like totally finessey, like super subtle presentation versus like most annoying, paddle tail swim bait's like in the middle. So I feel comfortable throwing it. You know what I mean? Yeah. I don't know. It's kind of crazy. We got a couple of people. I'm amazed. This is awesome. I don't think we've ever used this feature because while you were talking, Joe, if I seemed a bit distracted, I was putting stars on some of the comments from our jig heads so that we can go over some of their confidence baits. And like this one here from Eli. Eli says, bass dope, speedball, swim jig, or a square bill. All right. It's interesting. I think people that have like square bill as one of their confidence baits, I wish I could be you guys. I fucking wish I could be you guys. Because I'm like, I will often, this is the situation where I'm like, yeah, I'll just run a lipless. You know what I mean? Like I'm such a fucking tool. Oh, and then
see, I hate running lipless.
Really?
I have zero confidence with lipless. I'd rather run a square bill.
I always worry with like making bottom contact with cranks that like the depth is just off for what that can run, and it just gets in my head and drives me nuts. So I'm like with a lipless, I'm like, yo the bitch.
You've never
She's all up in
never
bitch.
clapped a big you've never clapped a big largemouth by dragging a square bill on the bottom.
So yes, I have, and I was amazed. I caught anything with it. I'm amazed I didn't lose it immediately. The first largemouth I caught on a artificial bait, it was River to Sea, Ish Monroe. I think it was a big papa. It was a big square bill.
Okay.
And
yeah.
It was a big square bill. And I was like, yeah, I'll give this on a spinning combo. I was like, yeah. And I caught this fish.
Yeah.
And I was like, this is fucking awesome. I think I got it from
just reeling in. It looks like you already have a 5-pounder on.
Yeah, exactly. Like it wakes in like 2 feet of water. You're just like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
It leaves a cloud behind it. Oh, it's ridiculous.
One thing I don't do enough anymore that I love doing is I love setting at the shallow of a rocky ledge and running a deep crank up it and just fucking smacking it off the rocks. Oh, I've caught some nice ones doing that.
You know what's crazy, man? Like you know what I have more confidence in it than that? A wobblehead jig.
See? I fished it once because you fish it, and I was like, I fucking hate this.
Dude, it is. It's like a single hook crankbait. I don't know. There's just something about it. And because you can use a plastic, this gets into like one of my big confidence overall. Natural presentation.
Yeah.
You know, it's like,
yeah.
So like if I have the opportunity to throw a soft plastic, I totally will, you know? But yeah,
right.
it's nuts. Like confidence baits are absolutely crazy. I thought for a while my confidence baits were like just going to be overall like finesse, like bait finesse. And I'm like, no, I've really evolved that into like my whole spectrum. So like the trends that I see with bait finesse or that I see with conventional tackle, I also see with bait finesse. So it's like, that's really just how I fish, like a moron. This is a good one because John is a multi-species master. He goes like after all of it, but he goes confidence bait for me is my Rapala ultralight sinking minnow crank in chrome or gold. Of course, when I'm catfishing, my confidence bait is an 8-inch shad. That absolutely tracks right there. That I don't think I've ever fished a sinking minnow at all. I don't think I've ever fished one. But yeah, that's a classic lure. Like that's something that's pretty freaking badass. Mark says, I'm super confident with weightless paddle tails and shallow weeds, but it's a pickerel magnet and those fuckers are annoying. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, weightless soft plastics in general, like just they're fantastic. And the beauty of it is you have like one like middle size EWG hook. And you can change that presentation to whatever you want with just changing out the plastic. So you carry less.
Yep.
Like as a bank angler, you can't miss that one. And this is my favorite. I knew this was coming. Wee Whacker confidence is the best confidence, Metal Jones says. I
don't have confidence in buzz baits either.
See, I kind of do have confidence in buzz baits. They're probably my favorite topwater.
Fun fact.
Yeah.
I have never caught a fish on a buzzbait.
Are you serious? Ever?
Never.
Oh, dude, it's so exciting. It's so fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great. And I will say this much too. Like Zek mentions the Wee Whacker. The Wee Whacker is amazing. Downsized buzzbaits are just slept on in general. I think I got one from a Dark Horse box. I think I got one. This was like, this might have been pre-Zek and Josh. And it is my go-to. It's like purple and like a dark green pumpkin with a black blade. And like I'll throw like a PB&J plastic on it, like a craw or anything, a grub. And it just gets hammered. And it's weird. Like I will say this much, and this is just food for thought. I think part of the reason why I have the attachment to that lure is it's one of the few that I've managed to hang on to that long that have caught me fish. And it's because it's a top water. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if it weren't, it'd be like, oh shit. Although I will tell you that Brizolo jig that I was throwing and killing it on this month. I have only one right now. There's two more. Thank you, Zach. He did not. My shit talking didn't sway him, but I ordered the last two in that color, so they're on their way. I should have them Tuesday. I cannot wait. But yeah, that is. I totally lost my train of thought. These edibles are bad this week. This is weird. But yeah, confidence-based addiction is a real thing. It absolutely is. We were riffing there pretty good, dude.
Yeah, oh yeah.
That was like really geeky, fishy shit.
It was.
You guys don't get that on Jigs and Bigs that often. That's pretty badass. You know, we should mention Wild Bill had called out the show on a reel. And Tuesday night, we had a conversation because we got called out on having how do we have drone money, right? So that, of course, influenced me to start crafting another song for the Jigs and Bigs soundtrack. So there's a little good. There's a little element that you can check out on Spotify if you want. It's called Family Business, The River Job. And yeah, it's nuts. Oh, Zach says he's going to re-up on those jigs soon. Sweet. I'm telling you. It was one of the few things that I knew I could get bid on. And again, stupid natural presentation. Like, it's stupid. All righty. Why don't we go ahead? We'll shift this into the live wall, guys. We'll be right back. Don't go too far. More Jigs and Bigs coming up right after this.
Are your ad campaigns lighting up the dashboard, but not the pipeline? That's bull spend. And marketers are calling it out in Dashboard Confessions.
My boss asked for results, so I opened my dashboard for the only positive-sounding metric I had, impressions.
Cut the bull spend. See revenue, not just reach. LinkedIn delivers the highest return on ad spend of major ad networks. Advertise on LinkedIn. Spend $250 on your first campaign and get a $250 credit. Go to linkedin.com/campaign. Terms and conditions apply.
You don't wash your jersey during a win streak. You don't switch seats when your team's up big. And you definitely don't shave during the playoffs. When things are working, you don't change them. That's why when you drink Jägermeister, you drink it ice cold. Anything else? Well, that'd just be bad luck. Drink it cold or don't drink it at all. Jägermeister. Damn, that's cold. Drink responsibly. Jägermeister liqueur, 35% alcohol by volume. Imported by Mast Jägermeister, U.S. White Plains, New York.
At first, I didn't think it was real. I woke up to this blinding light, and I was transported to another place. Pluto TV! Then I heard a voice.
Come with me if you want to live.
There were thousands of movies and shows, and they were all free. The truth is it's just so beautiful.
On Pluto TV, free streaming of Terminator 2, Fringe, Arrow, The 100, and The X-Files may cause excitement, loss of sleep, and sudden belief in extraterrestrials. No credit cards or alien encounters necessary. Pluto TV. Stream now, pay never.
Pool days call for cookouts and lots of laundry. This Memorial Day at Lowe's, save $80 on a Charbroil Performance Series 4-burner gas grill. Now just $199. Plus, get up to 45% off select major appliances to keep dishes, clothes, and food fresh. Having fun in the sun is easy with us in your corner. Our best lineup is here at Lowe's. Valid through 5/27. While supplies last. Selection varies by location. See associate or Lowe's.com for details.
This episode is brought to you by State Farm. You know those friends who support your preference for podcasts over music on road trips? That's the energy State Farm brings to insurance. With over 19,000 local agents, they help you find the coverage that fits your needs. So you can spend less time worrying about insurance and more time enjoying the ride. Download the State Farm app or go online at statefarm.com. Like a good neighbor, State Farm is there.
Hi there. Welcome to the Live Well,
where we crack open a ramp beer and attempt to answer all of your burning questions.
Yep. Hey, it's the live well, baby. This part of the show is like like it says in the intro. This is having a ramp beer. After, the boats, everything's put away. You're just hanging out, bullshitting before you go home and call it a night. That's kind of what this segment's all about. We got 3 calls that came in this week, and they're very different, all very unique ones. We're gonna jump in with our first one. This is from one of our jig heads, Eli.
Hey boys, it's the fake Eli, or maybe you could say the older, wiser Eli. My question this week is about books. What books have you read or listened to that are good smallmouth, largemouth, black bass books? One that I'm currently reading right now that's really good for fishing creeks, rivers, small streams is called Mighty Smallmouth, Catching Big Bass on Small Water by Adam Merrifield. A really good book. I read it once already, and now going back through it as I'm fishing more rivers, highlighting stuff and doing stuff like that. But yeah, what books have you read, listened to that you'd recommend about learning more about bass fishing? Hey, boys.
I gotta tell you, I have purchased 2 books that were recommended to me, and why balloons? 2 books, and I have see, I haven't cracked a single one of them. In fact, I don't even know where they are or what their titles are. I am awful. It's odd for somebody my age in my demographic. I should crack a book way more often than I do. But when it comes to bass fishing, I get most of what I've learned, honestly, from like good fishing podcasts. Like Tackle Talk. You know what I mean? I'm going to be straight up with you. A lot of the stuff that I've learned has made me so like, and I guess like a lot of the other stuff that I've gotten is from like other, like Bass Resource and Wired to Fish and like the online publications like that. And then pop-up books. Yeah, pop-up books, I even, I remember Paul had told me, he's like, I started reading this book about fishing. And I was like, just go fishing, dude. Like, I was like, just go fishing, and I'm a degenerate, I'm a degenerate. But Joe's been on me to read Jeremy Wade's book forever.
Yeah, I can't think of the name of it. That's not like bass fishing. That's just like I listened to it on Audible, and it was just a great book.
Yeah.
It just his viewpoint is just so incredible, and that's kind of that. But yes, if you guys, I can't think of the name of it, but it's Jeremy Wade's book. The guy who did River Monsters. He came out with a book. It's very. There's a lot of like scientific centric stuff, but not to the point where it's like dry. It's also, kind of, he goes, even if you watch his show, he goes like more into depth into a lot of those instances and a couple other things. But man, when it comes to books, there is a book, Bobby, some bass fishermen may call the Holy Grail. So much so, I may piss off the listeners. I'm not even going to mention the name. Because it is the Holy Grail of bass fishing books. I have my hands on a copy. Let's just put it this way. It was upwards in like the $300 range because it is no longer publicated.
Yeah.
It is no longer made.
I've heard of this before.
Yep. If you know, you know. If you don't, if you guys have my personal contact, maybe and you reach out to me, maybe I'll This motherfucker. Yes, Bert. That's the one. I knew Zach. No, I knew. I knew Zach.
Got that Jigs
knew.
and Bigs money.
But yeah,
what's
that's
funny,
the
Bert,
book.
is I haven't been given a copy of this book. I don't know how this happened. So I don't think it has anything to do. I think this is some Old Glory shit. Is what it is.
Yeah, dude. That was like. So my wife doesn't. You guys all know I buy some stupid shit. I have a way too expensive boat. I'm sitting in a way too expensive RV right now. Those didn't cross the line with my wife. But when I bought a $300 book, I was a wicked asshole.
Are you kidding me?
She's like, that was Bobby. That's when I crossed the line in Meg's eyes. Was when I got that. That's when I crossed the line. It wasn't the boat. It wasn't all the gear. It wasn't the RV. It wasn't fucking the guns or like any of that shit. It was the book.
It's amazing. It's amazing, dude.
Bert, she knows. She saw. You can't hold me hostage like this. Yeah. She knows about it.
That is wild.
Dude, but yes, it was. Bobby, I had gotten this from someone. I had been trying to find out what this book was because it's pretty close hold. Like people in the bass, like serious bass fishermen, when they find out what this book is, it's almost like a secret society where you're held to secrecy and you don't tell anybody else about it. And dude, when I finally found out, I found the only one in the country at the time that was actively for sale. Yeah. And that's the one I got. And that's why I paid what I paid. But, and I found it. It was in a vintage bookstore in, I think, Albuquerque, New Mexico.
Oh my God. And you just stumbled. Yep. That's crazy.
Yep.
I remember one of the books, one of the books that was suggested, and it was a past guest and a fellow podcaster that suggested this. It was the Jabberhammer, and he recommended I look into like a series of books, like a class called Structure Fishing from Buck Perry, and. I looked those up and I thought they had like some inflated, crazy price or something like that. Like I figured you could get a digital copy. And at the time, I don't know, I should look into those again. That would be, I feel like, I'll be honest with you. I took a look at it, like some samples and I was like, this is so far fucking beyond me when I first looked at it. But I feel like now might be different.
You know what I think I have a set, or it's at my dad's house. You know what some of the best bass fishing instructional books were?
What's that?
I think it was those the hardcover like Field and Stream books. Do you remember those from like the 90s?
Yeah,
dude. My dad has them, and I want to say he might have given them to me. That might be in my garage now, but I remember like after I was really into bass fishing, I kind of like, they were like in his office or something. And we were there for whatever. And I pulled one out and I just sat on the couch looking at it. And I'm like, wow, these are fucking legit. Like these are good, dude.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude. Yep. That's freaking nuts.
Yeah, dude. So I'll try to remember for the next time we do the show. 'Cause those are pretty easy to get your hands on. There's like series of them. There's like a full book on like frog fishing, bass or whatever.
Which is crazy too, because like Field and Stream was so like encompassing. You know what I mean? For them to go so deep, I think is like really, I would almost expect that out of like something like Bassmaster. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Something like that. But like Field and Stream, for them to go so fucking deep, that's crazy. I do remember those books though.
I want to say it was, I'm not positive it was Field and Stream. I really think it was.
Yeah. I think it was.
I could totally be wrong. But it's like, it was like they have series. It's like in the series, it'd be like one would be like, how to fish frogs for bass. And the next one would be like how to fucking fry up a bass. The next one would be like,
that sounds
how to
exactly.
fish jigs for a bass,
How to fry up a bass.
I know how to read, you asshole. I am not putting that on YouTube. I would do that. I would do that and charge like $50 for the video. And I'm actually going to sit there like back in like kindergarten class, and like you have to watch the whole video. And then after each page, I like show like the pictures like the teacher would do to the class.
Yes, dude, that's awesome.
That's a new thing my 7-year-old does. That's a new thing Emma does. She's been doing it for a few months now because that's how they get read to, and like she can read pretty well now. So I can't tell you how many times in the last like 2 months I've had to sit on the floor while she sits on the couch and fucking reads me a book like a kindergarten, like a first grade teacher, dude. I'm like, she's like, oh, and here's a picture, Daddy. I'm like, oh, sweet, yep.
Oh my God, that's awesome, dude.
Yep.
You can 100% monetize that shit. 100%.
Oh, it would get it would. I feel like it would get shut down pretty quick, but I get what I can out of it. Do it for the jig heads.
Do it for the jig heads. Do it for. Woo. Oh, that's good to know. Yeah.
Oh, Bobby. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Bobby. All right, here we go. We'll do it. We'll do that. We'll do that. But we'll do it like on here, like a private, like
yeah.
Thing.
Oh yeah.
Like even. Sorry, jig heads. You guys are gonna have to pay too. But we'll just do it for like, and then that'll get people to become jig heads too.
No shit. See what this is what happens, guys. you make these comments and you throw this stuff out here, and this is what happens. It gets into the mind, and now it's madness.
Even worse. Oh, Bobby, I'm not going to read it.
Yeah,
I'm going to have Emma read it.
Oh my God, dude. Oh my God. That's going to get into child labor and all kinds. That's crazy, man.
Next thing you know, we got pedophiles in SJ. We got
no.
500.
We're shutting that shit down. We're shutting it down. Oh my God.
Holy shit, dude. We got a lot of jig heads all of a sudden. Oh, we're gonna get sorry, Bobby. I might have just canceled Jigs and Bigs.
Jesus Christ, dude. Oh, all right. Well,
damn it.
With that said, that's like a hoodlum cast moment right there.
Oh yeah, dude. That was like.
I've never had this happen before. Oh.
All a hoodlum cast is no matter who's on it, the whole time it's just Bill laughing, Andrew going, "Oh my God," and Ken just always going, exploding. Are we serious right now?
No excuses. No excuses.
Anyway, next live wall question.
So following that up, this is definitely, this one here is going to take a turn.
Hey guys, Matt there, here of Klondike Custom Creations fame, calling in for a rebuttal, maybe on the topic of covering water. Maybe not rebuttal, that might not be the right term. Anyways, so covering water, to me, I end up doing my best work when I'm covering water. When I was just on the water last Sunday, I won a club tournament, new club that I'm fishing, by covering water against, the live scopers and everything of that nature. And I'm not bagging on live scope. I've never bagged on live scope either. But anyways, I won't get on that topic. So covering water, to me, I do very well when I am covering water. For instance, on this past Sunday, there was a lot of times where my trolling motor was on 80 or 90, casting, letting a bait fall with a slack line, and then continuing. But I was revisiting spots that I had already fished. Yes, I caught fish on those spots, and bites were very sporadic. I couldn't find multiple fish in like one spot. Fished a rock point for a while, stayed on it. I only could catch one fish off of it. So covering water to me is a higher percentage than sitting there pitching at a dock or something, for a prolonged amount of time. There's docks in the past that I've caught fish off of, or larger docks. There's some of those common instances where I've caught fish off of a dock or something like that previously in that trip that I will spend more time at. But it's not, I don't sit and cast 20 casts at a dock or 15 casts or whatever. Hit the targets, move on. Fish eat. They don't think about it. I'm going to tell you that again. Fish eat. They don't think about it. They eat and they swim and then they shit. It's just what goes on. That's what was pounded into my brain, and it's made me a better angler. Maybe if I hung around in those spots with live scope, I would have been able to find some more fish, but I'm not that bougie. I don't have enough money for a live scope setup. So, anyways, you guys, talk to you guys soon, hopefully. And
it just kind of cuts off right there. But when I said that's going to take a turn, it is. Matt, I think here's the thing. I think that what he did in this situation is kind of, I think when I give that tip, I sort of assume that people understand that when I say like fishing fast, right? Let's say fast is 100 and fishing slow is 0. There's so much room to fit in between. You know what I mean? And, even people will say like, oh yeah, I fished this so fast. I'm not used to doing that. Or it really killed me. I had to fish this so slowly. That means different things to different people, So I think the fact that Matt mentioned going back to other spots, it speaks volumes to like taking the time to pick it apart, because yeah, you fished it. This area needs to reset. You know what I mean? But you come back to it. You're doing it with intention. That's the thing. So I think that like there's a spectrum, like of where you can fit in. Cause I feel like, have you ever had a situation, Joe, where like somebody is catching them on one presentation? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you start throwing the same fucking thing in the same fucking spots, and you're not getting bit, right? That just happens. But there's something about the way people present a lure in the water, that's unique to them. So for that one angler, like these, there's it's all variables. And, I think that's all. Matt, I think if this is the tournament I'm thinking of, he had a picture, I think, on Facebook. That one of these fish was an absolute tank, and like he killed it with this tournament. But I think that's the thing. I think that's the point that I just assume people, they kind of understand that like there's a lot of things that fit in like your needs or your terms might, be a little bit up for, I guess, interpretation,
Right.
I don't know. What do you think?
I agree. Man, that's kind of, I love Matt, obviously. But what works for one person, work for another, it doesn't mean it's the wrong. Like that's all, like his technique to do it. That's awesome. And I'm a fucking wicked happy for him. They won that club tournament.
Yeah.
It's not my technique. It's not what I'm most confident in.
Yeah.
But if it works for you, do it. That's great.
Yeah.
Me, I just, like I said last week, I tend to, if spots that in my mind don't look as fishy, I tend to go a little faster. I tend to fish them a little faster. I don't pass them. I'm still throwing lines.
Yeah.
But I tend to fish them a little faster. Areas that look a little bit more fishy to me, per se, I slow down a little bit and I take a few extra casts and a few more casts because guess what? I've done a ton of sight fishing on clear water, on clear water lakes and rivers, and I've seen them. Like, the one part I don't agree what he said is, fish they eat and that's it, and it's not that simple.
Yeah,
I don't feel as though it's not that simple.
Yeah, I could agree with you there too, because you think of like these different variables, just in the conditions alone that can change their mood. And like when you have a fish where, like, let's say you've thrown a drop shot, right, and you're just hanging a worm, right, and you've just got to let that sit, or drag it so slowly on one of those days where they're just not feeling it. And like, they're going to be a lot more lazy about it. Like, it's not like they're just, again, there's a spectrum, Yeah.
And Bobby, I'm sure you've seen it. And I know Matt has seen it. That's why I'm surprised he said this, because how many times, especially, let's talk sight fishing, just because that's when you actually see it happening.
Yeah.
How many times have you seen a fish sitting in a spot, right? And you throw a bait. Let's say this fish is facing left, right?
Mm-hmm.
You throw that lure, whatever you're throwing, and it comes by him, and all he does is turn on it. Doesn't chase it, or he just partially turns on it. Doesn't chase it or anything, and you bring it back, right? So you're like, okay, so he moves. So now you have to throw essentially that same exact spot again. So you throw that same exact spot again. You're watching him. He might turn back, and okay, now he turns on it again. Second cast, still nothing there. But now he's still facing that area. He's like, all right, there's something weird going on here. And then that third cast, maybe that's when he falls in a little bit, or maybe that's when he takes a bite on it. But like, does that make sense?
Yeah, it does. It does.
Because I've seen that a million times. So it's not that easy. Just like one cast, and they're going to eat it. Like it's not that simple.
And it is. It's crazy because it's like you have to be in that situation where you can see them move, but like it gets their attention and they just kind of sit. You know, absolutely. And sometimes that's all it is. It'll just be that next one comes over, or this is again where like a follow up is good, but you got to slow down for that. Throw a follow up over there. That happened to me several times today where I would throw my swim jig right at a spot, and I was this is exactly the way it would work. I'd go, I'd make my cast, I'd skip under some trees, I'd start working that swim jig back. If there was a tap, I would just hit spot lock, right, and allow the boat to swing around, and then I would go and take my stick bait, my Senko, and skip that under there. And I caught several fish where it was like that was the drop was slower, and they would pick it up. Although the bite was really fucking soft. Like it was, I had to hope, that was like, or see that line move. It was ridiculous. But yeah, it's like, dude, like you just, there's a lot of moving parts when it comes to fishing. You know what I mean? And like sometimes we just don't know all the variables at the time, Yeah.
You just, and I guess like, and Matt, I love you, dude. I'm not like I just I love to play devil's advocate, but
I just had a
that technique is not going to win you every club tournament.
Yeah,
guarantee it.
Oh yeah,
I would bet my mortgage on it.
Yeah, it's true. I mean, the next
there's going to be times where my technique wins. There's going to be times where Bobby's technique wins, and there's going to be times where the guy who's just staring at the live scope the entire time is going to win.
Yeah.
It's just it's all conditional based.
Yep.
Fish have feelings too, guys.
Oh, we got one more. One more in the old live well.
Let's hear it.
This one here comes from Kevin.
Hey guys, it's Kevin from Biohazard Bassin. I just want to say congrats to the winner of the multi-species. And I did have fun. I was only able to fish on Friday. I got about 4 species in, so that was pretty sweet. But, family comes first. So it's do that. But I also wanted to do a little hats off to the tournament. I really enjoyed it as a whole. It got me fishing for these other species with the light line, light lures, light rod, everything light setup, which was not my norm from the beginning of when I started my bass fishing journey. So I just wanted to say thank you, and I heard this is probably coming to an end, so rest in peace, multi-species tournament, and I loved every second of it. So I wanted to say thank you for putting that on. It made me a better angler, and I will always be fishing multi-species for the rest of my life now. So thank you, guys. Peace.
That's fucking awesome to hear, dude. Like, dude, Kevin, thank you for sharing that. That is amazing. I do want to say, Kevin, I think he was just in like Florida. I want to say maybe it was Florida. I think it was somewhere down south. And I think he just broke his PB down there with a good sized largemouth. And if I'm not mistaken, if I'm not mistaken, he was at like some kind of a conference or something. It was like there was a break. So he's like, I'm going to go make a few casts. So he does, hooks this giant. He's got people coming out from the conference like, holy shit, that's amazing. Like just very, very cool. So awesome. But yeah, thank you, Kevin. That is really cool. And that's awesome that, you know, I love that people, some folks anyway, really value other species, you know, enough to try to chase them and stuff. And that is really cool. That's why like a guy like John Hagens, who like, he's like the Sherpa of the multi-species fishing journey. Guys like Dave Shade and I mean some of the others, just absolute hammers that have been in here. Like just it's unreal. Mark says, cue the bagpipes. Oh man. But yeah, it was just it's good shit, and I'm going to continue multi-species fishing as well. I think what I'll probably do is get together with Kevin and do a challenge video. You know,
hell yeah,
we'll do our own like one outing. We'll go to one of my favorite spots once it's accessible, and then we'll see who can catch the most diverse stringer all day. That'll be badass. I like that. Yeah, that'll be a good way to kick it off. Sweet. So there you go, Kevin. Now you got yourself. We'll schedule a slot on the implication. We'll have everything will be ready to go. Nice. Oh my goodness. Is that the last call? I think that is the last call for the live well. This fucking show, dude, this week.
Kind of went off the rails a little bit, but that's okay. That's why we're jigs and bigs.
That's exactly it. And it's Memorial Day weekend, you know? Like it's really when you think about it,
a little.
Yeah, you know what I mean? Dave, Jerry, Tim, all beasts. Yep, 100%. 100%. Oh, Jesus, Jerry, multi-species house. Jesus Christ. Todd as well. Todd fucking, like, dude, there's going to be good shit coming. Don't worry. In the meantime, get ready for when the duo league goes national. When that trail goes national, it's going to be nuts. Benny and I are going to have one hell of a winter, like sending maps back and forth.
I can't wait for the duos next month.
Yeah, next month's going to be really good. It's going to be really,
I'm spending a week. I'll be up at the St. Lawrence River for a week.
Yep.
Oh, yes.
Man. Yeah, that's badass. Because I'm sure they are absolutely munching, you know.
And Wild Bill will be joining me for a couple days.
Oh,
up there,
really?
So.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah.
I thought he was afraid of the Nikon. I thought he was afraid of the Icon.
He's a bitch, dude.
Okay.
I'll strap him in and he can wear fucking Emma's fucking pink life jacket.
Are you gonna let him fly the drone?
So it's actually wicked funny that he's coming during this time because like last year we had like a full like camera crew basically like getting all the footage.
Yeah.
So, like I had the camera guy.
I can only imagine.
Dude,
I can only imagine. Who the fuck do you think you are?
So I actually hope that happens one of the day that he's with me, and I'll be like, "Oh yeah, dude, this is for Jigs and Bigs. This is our crew.
This is our fucking thing."
Yeah. We need you to hurry up and mic up real quick and come out, go hang out in the green room until we're ready for you.
I fucking love it, dude. I fucking love it. Oh my God. Good Lord, guys. Hey, Call that hotline. You know, if you got a grievance, little FTG, go ahead, submit that 413-324-8519. Put that number in your phone and give us a call. Text us for all this stuff. You want to call the live well yourself? This is a great way to do it. We're gonna wrap this sucker up because good night, folks. That's pretty much it.
That's it.
What kind of green is in that room? Says John. Nice.
Bunch of degenerates.
The best green. That's what's in that room. My goodness. We will see you guys next week. And I am working on a couple of really interesting guests too. A couple real interesting guests. I'm just waiting to confirm some record dates. We've got some good shows coming up for you. Thanks so much to our patrons, our jig heads. You guys are absolutely awesome. Do yourselves a favor, guys. Follow us on all the socials and make sure to rate and review this episode if you enjoyed it. Joe, do you have anything you want to say before we wrap up?
Nah, man, I want to go eat some fucking
s'mores, dude.
I want to go eat some s'mores and I don't know, probably go throw one of the kids in the fire or something because he's being a little asshole. I don't know.
Fucking A, man. It's a good time to grow up. I love it. All right, dude. You have a good one. We will talk to you. You guys have a great one. We'll see you next week with more Jigs and Bigs goodness. You know how it is. Like we always say.
Tits and ass, smoke some grass.
The water was calm that morning. Too calm. That's when Bobby Roast Beef started talking about featureless banks. Everybody at the table laughed. Back slow in his chair, said drag a heavy jig if you really want to know what's there. Mud to gravel, shell to wood, every little change tells you where they stood. Then Bobby Roast Beef lit a grin, said get a bird's eye view if you really want to dial it in. That's when Wild Bill from Connecticut cracked. Yeah, where you boys get drone money at? That's the river job. Nobody really knows how deep it goes. Jig heads moving coast to coast. Every dock got another ghost. Hook said hoodlums on the east side lanes. Dark horse tackle moving Pittsburgh game. This ain't fishing. This is family business. Canadian koala crossed down from Ontario, talking cold water fishing like a northern capo. Binion fly walker slid in from Vermont, quiet types but the kind you never really want. Bigger from Maine had maps nobody's seen, marked up rivers in a notebook green. Meanwhile Wild Bill kept breaking stones, saying Bobby Roast Beef got brand new boats and drones. Rumors spread from ramp to ramp like somebody hid money in a tackle camp. That's the river job. Everybody tied in somehow. Up the Walmart holding California down. Jabber hammer moving through South Carolina towns. Like wood out in Crumpton still keeps things clean. And chill steel pipes got the fish whistle steam. This ain't luck. This is operations. Nobody talks too loud at the launch. Nobody asks too much. One guy handles tungsten, another guy handles graphs. The jig heads fund the late nights, and somehow the boats keep getting nicer. Funny how that works. is featureless. You just ain't connected enough yet. This ain't fishing. This is the river job. One cast, one clue, one more move nobody saw coming.
Did you know if your windows are bare, indoor temperatures can go up 20 degrees? Turn the temperature down with Blinds.com and get up to 50% off custom window treatments like solar roller shades and more during the Memorial Day mega sale. Whether you want to DIY it or have a pro handle everything, we've got you. Free samples, real design experts, and zero pressure. Just help when you need it. Shop up to 50% off site-wide and huge savings on doorbusters right now during the Memorial Day mega sale at Blinds.com. Rules and restrictions apply.